Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are here to talk about a brand new collection from Becca Cosmetics. It's called the BFF collection. It was a collaboration between Khloé Kardashian and her BFF Malika. So we are going to talk about that collection right now. So if that's something you're interested in watching, you're in the right place. We're about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, so Becca Cosmetics teamed up with the two BFFs, Khloé and Malika, to create a new collection. And the collection includes 3 different products: a lipstick, a highlighter, and then a palette that includes 2 blushes, a bronzer, and an additional highlighter. So I have one of each of those pieces for us to try out today. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the least favorite of the collection, in my personal opinion, and that is the new baked highlighter. Now, this baked highlighter is a little different. It comes in this kind of cardboard container, which was very unimpressive to me. And then you take out this little spongy thing here that's like the cap to it, I guess. And then you have a lot of these X's and O's and hearts that are loose in here. And you're supposed to just swirl your brush around in here and get a highlighter. Now, this is a combination of a very gold type of highlighter and a very dark bronzy type of highlighter. It's supposed to be a combination of like Khloé and Malika together, and you swirl this together and get your ideal highlight. So let's take a look at these up close just so that you guys can really take a look at the component and the inside. So again, this retails for $18. These are called the Glow Letters. So these are baked heart-shaped highlighters that are supposed to be for your face, but ideally you could also use it on your eyes if you wanted to. Again, it's a shimmering bronze and kind of a golden champagne look to the highlighter itself. It is very pretty. I think it's a little messy. They do say it's supposed to give you like a soft focus glow, that it's a buildable formula. And they also say that the more crushed they are, the more luminous the glow. So maybe I need to like maybe chop these all up and then swirl it together maybe, and it will be a really luminous glow. But for me, it's just, I don't know, you guys. I was very underwhelmed by the component itself and the messiness of it. Like, this sponge gets so messy, you guys, and like it's already all over me. I just don't think it was a very well executed product. But when you swirl your brush around and then put it on, you do get this very kind of natural, soft highlight. The highlight itself isn't bad. It's a beautiful highlight. It's a very kind of soft focus effect. It reminds me a lot of like the hourglass type of diffused light highlighters, which in and of itself isn't a bad thing. I think it's really, really pretty. I just don't like the execution of it. I think that's really where they struggled with this particular product. However, it is only $18. So, I mean, I think for me the biggest issue is the component. The actual baked highlighter on the inside is not a bad product. It actually looks really pretty on the skin, and it is pretty when it's swirled around. Maybe I will crunch it up a little bit to see if it makes it a little more intense like they say to do. But yeah, that was like my least favorite portion of the collection. Next up, let's talk about the lipstick. The lipstick retails for $24 a piece, which I thought was a little pricey, but then I actually really fell in love with the component and the formula itself. So Khloé Khloé has two options. She has a red that's a little kind of spicier red, and it's a little more of like a brown toned red, and then she has a nude or a neutral type of color. And then Malika has a red which is more of like a true red. It's a very bright, pretty red, and then she has like a nude neutral type of color as well. So each of them got a bright red kind of statement color, and then each of them got a neutral nude type of color. Now, the lipstick that I ordered was Khloé's nude color, so like her neutral color. It's actually like a very rich, toasty kind of neutral. The one thing that I love about these lipstick components is, number one, they're magnetized. So I love a lid on a lipstick component that's magnetized, because it assures me that my lid is not going to slide off in my purse, and then you get all those crumblies that get inside of your lipstick, and I hate that. So I love that the lid is magnetized. This component is gorgeous. It's very heavy. It's actually quite big. It is, just says Becca on the top. Now, I will say all four of these colors, the two of Khloé's and the two of Malika's, they are limited edition with Becca. So this is only for this collection, and it won't be around forever, which I hate, because I really do love this formula and I do love this color. So the formula is a very creamy formula. It's a very soft formula. It is just a true lipstick, but this color is absolutely stunning. I actually have it on my lips tonight. I really, really love this lipstick formula. The only downside to this formula is that it does only last on the lips for like a couple of hours. I do find that I have to reapply, usually once, sometimes twice if it's a really long day. So I do wish that it was a little more long lasting, but so creamy, so nourishing on the lips. It's just a true tube lipstick, and I like that about it. It's very classic, and I do love the component itself, and this is a beautiful color. So this one, absolutely Erica approved, even though it's got a little pricier price tag. I do think the component makes it worth it, the formula makes it worth it, and the color is gorgeous. So that brings us to the staple of this collab, and that is the Becca, Khloé, and Malika BFF Photo Filter Finish All-in-One Face Palette. Now, the packaging on this is stunning. It's this really pretty kind of silvery, gold-tonedy kind of color. It's not quite silver, but it's not gold. It's like, I don't know, it's like a blend of silver and gold, if that makes any sense. But it is beautiful packaging. I love this little heart detail here that says BFFs on it. I do genuinely like the way that this looks. Now, I was a little hesitant on trying this palette out itself because I did not like the Becca Be a Light face palette, which this seems to mimic quite a bit, especially with the way that the products look on the inside. However, this includes a highlighter, 2 blushes, and a bronzer. My biggest gripe with the Becca Be a Light face palette was that the powders in the palette, the face powder, the soft focus face powder, was very underwhelming. I did like the matte bronzer in it, and I hated the blush in the Be a Light face palette because the blush had streaks of this really bright highlighter running through it, which made it not really a blush, but like a pink highlighter. So while I liked the formula of a couple of the things in there and didn't like the colors and didn't like the formula of one thing, the face powder, this is very different. This has 2 blushes in it that don't have that highlighter streaks running through it. It does have a matte bronzer in it, and then it has its own highlighter in it. This makes a lot more sense to me. Now, they do have 2 versions of this palette, and when I took a look at them, I really, really like the options with the 2 palettes because Malika has her own palette, and when you look at her color choices, they really are geared towards darker skin tones. And when you look at Khloé's choices, these seemed a lot more geared towards light to medium skin tones. So of the two palettes, you have something for everyone, which I think is fantastic. This is Khloé's version of the palette. So this is going to be for the light to medium skin tones. And again, you have the two blushers, the matte bronzer and the highlight. But let's take a look at these up close just so that you guys can see what they really look like in the pan. So they say that this formula is going to give you that photo filter finish. It is a buildable formula, and it is kind of an easy to use all-in-one palette. Now you have a satin matte bronzer in Cocoa Bronze, which is a neutral medium type tan with a very smooth satin matte finish. It is a buildable formula. Then you also have a soft focus highlighter in Glow Up, which is kind of a creamy vanilla that gives you a very smooth, soft focus, natural glow on the skin. Then you have one blush in Fierce, which is a warm peach that gives you just a little flush of color, and it does have a little bit of a glow in it, but it's not overwhelming. And then you have one in Fabulosity, which is more of a cool pink that gives you a flush of color and a little bit of a glow there. So these blushes remind me a lot of the Hourglass blushes, so they're not as bad as the Be a Light palette blushes were, the ones that had like the highlighter running through it. These are actually pretty blushes that give you a little bit of a glow, but they also just give you a very pretty wash of color, and you're not like, oh my god, I just put on a highlighter, which I really have a problem with a lot of Becca's blush products. It makes me feel like I just put a highlighter on. This blush isn't like that. It's just a very pretty wash of color, and that was this one, which is the Cocoa Bronze. This one is my favorite blush out of this entire palette. Now the highlighter that is in this is also a very soft focus highlighter, so it's not overly blinding. I'll put that on this side since we use the letters on the other side. But it is a much more, it is a lot more intense than the glow letters were. So you can definitely see that this one is on there. It's really, really pretty, and it is a very kind of soft focus highlighter. So it does just melt into the skin. It doesn't show texture, and it does give you this really pretty kind of soft focus look to the skin. I do love this, especially like on the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow, anywhere that you just want to bring a little bit of light. I do love the highlighter that is in this palette. I think it's gorgeous. And then of course you have the bronzer in here, and I'll show you the bronzer. That's this. Now this, even though this is a matte bronzer, it's like a satin matte, so it doesn't have any glow to it, but it is very creamy. And I'm not even gonna see if you guys probably aren't even, and it does just really warm up the skin. It just gives you this really pretty kind of beachy bronze look that I love. It just, yeah, I don't know if you guys are really going to be able to tell because I already have bronzer and blush on. But it's gorgeous, and I usually am a little bit afraid of Becca's bronzers, but let me just give you a little bit of a color swatch there on my, see how that looks on my finger? There's no shimmer in it, and it's just a really pretty tone. So overall, I really do like this palette. I was pleasantly surprised. I was a little nervous, like I said, because the Be a Light face palette was not something that I was impressed with. But I love the creaminess of the matte bronzer in here. I think it does a great job warming up the face. I really like the highlighter that's in here, and I do like both of these blushes. Now, this is a $44 face palette, and a lot of people will balk at that a little bit, but I will say, if you just think about the fact that you're getting 4 quite big pans of baked product in here that is really good, high quality product, I mean, you're talking just a little over $10 a piece for each one of these individual products. So you do get a lot of product for the money. Overall, I like the collection. I do really like the lipstick formula. I love the face palette. This, I just wish they would have come up with something else other than this. I just don't, this is the only part that I don't like. But the face palette and the lipstick are both home runs for me. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to like this particular collaboration and collection from Becca, but I really, really do. And I'm glad that I do, because it is really, really pretty. So let me know if it's something that you guys are interested in, or something that you guys think you might pick up. Let me know down in the comments below if this is something maybe you would give to your BFF. I did buy one of those face palettes and gave it to my sister, because I do like kind of that concept of the BFF palette. I think that's a really cute idea, and I think that was a really cute concept for Khloé and Malika to do together. All right, guys, well, that is it. Listen, if you are new here, welcome. Don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. We would love to have you here as a member of the approved crew, so feel free to hit the subscribe button on your way out. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram, and as always, I hope everybody is very happy and very healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video.